Jed, good morning. Jim, formerly of Munster. It's been a long time, a couple of years. Just got off a plane, flew in from Southern California, a 3-year project, landed in Midway, turned on WJOV, and I hear what's going on in Chicago. I just wanted to chime in. So this is not a surprise. I mean, there's been violence in Chicago going back to the early 20th century. This is not a shock. I mean, we had organized crime. Think about, Al Capone, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, turf wars, bootleg gangs. And then mid-century, we had decentralized street gangs. It's been going on for 100 years in Chicago and northern Lake County. The Greek Mafia, all the different mafias that we had, Cal City, East Chicago, Gary. This is not new. It's just evolving. And now what you have is a lack of mental health care and a lack of morality in homes where people are raised. It's just, it's the same thing. History repeats itself. So it's disappointing that we hear about innocent people being shot up in a bar, having a great time, but it's repeated itself for 100 years in this greater region, Northwest Indiana, Chicagoland, South suburbs. And, as I flew in on a red eye from LA this morning, I get off the plane, Midway Airport, go down to carousel number 6, and there's a person that's clearly mentally challenged at the baggage carousel, just hanging around, giving a girl that's probably 19, 20, 21 years old, my daughter's age, giving her a hard time. Clearly no business doing that, but it's the same thing. It's mental illness. This person had no business. It's all over the place. It's rampant in Chicago. So this is not a surprise. I'm not shocked. I feel bad for the families. I do not make light of that at all. But, I feel bad for somebody like Walt, who worked in the city for 40 years. I respect Walt. But to just cave in to some of the very small percentage of folks that are committing crimes and not take advantage of what Chicago has to offer, it's just a huge mistake.
Well,
So,
I mean, you bring up the point there, and that's kind of how it relates to us. I mean, we're not very far. I mean, we're really just mostly separated by a state line. But if that wasn't there, we would just be part of the Chicago. I mean, if you go into Whiting, it looks like Chicago, right? I mean, there are parts. I mean, we get our media there, we get our sports teams there. I mean, we're part of the Chicago area, and then we built a train, and now people are sometimes, vocal about not wanting to go to Chicago other than possibly to make money, and that changes the dynamic. Does it also mean that we're building our own infrastructure and our own modes of entertainment, and we don't need to go up there? Or is it just sad because it's so dangerous, people don't want to go up there? You know what I mean?
Chicago is a part of the region, whether we like it or not. We are so close. I grew up in East Chicago. It wasn't a terrible area in the 70s and 80s. Yes, there were problems, but you knew to stay away from certain elements. Don't ask for problems. In the city, you just have to stay vigilant. That's it. Trust your senses. Be in a large group. Take an Uber from Millennium Station to your destination. I take the train into the city all the time for entertainment. Get off at Millennium, catch an Uber, go to where you're going, or jump on the Red Line, which is only 2 blocks away. Don't walk a mile and a half at 11 o'clock p.m. back to the train station. You're asking for a problem. But Uber's there for a reason. Take a Lyft, take an Uber, catch a ride from a friend. You just have to be vigilant. Don't give up on what Chicago has to offer because there are a few isolated events. Crime has always existed.
I agree with the first part of what you say, in that don't give up on Chicago. And I love to go to Chicago. Like I said, I went for vacation there. We didn't want to leave because we didn't know when they were going to have the baby or whatever. And so we went up there, and it was beautiful. We had a nice Airbnb. The restaurants were amazing. We went to a Cubs game. The whole thing was a beautiful moment if you know what you're doing. But here's the part that you're not saying is that the random violence, and maybe it's just being reported more, the random violence can break out anywhere and innocent people can get killed or hurt or robbed just by kind of being there. And it used to be kind of relegated to certain areas of Chicago. Like you said, it used to be relegated to certain areas of East Chicago. But now the violence can be anywhere, and that changes the game.
It can be in Munster, Indiana. Jimmy, when you grow up in the 70s in Munster, there was no crime. It's everywhere in Munster now. Crime is everywhere. Whether we like it or not, that's where we live. People have to stay vigilant. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but again, lack of mental health care and the lack of morality has put us in this situation currently. And that's my opinion.
I appreciate your opinion.
But here we are.
You know, I do have one follow-up on that, because people that are talking like you're talking, which is, you know, a very rational way of looking at it, it's so odd that you're like, all right, you hear someone talking like that, and then, you know, 6 months later you see a for sale sign in the house, and they bought a piece of property south of Crown Point, or they moved to Lowell, or they moved
Porter
to
County.
Yeah, or to Porter County. Yes.
I'm an East Chicago kid. I moved to Porter County right by the lake. I mean, I got tired of Lake County taxes. I got tired of Lake County crime. I couldn't be any happier living in Porter County. I'm willing to make the additional 20-minute drive, go working in Illinois by living in Porter County. I pay less taxes. I have less crime. It's just a better experience. And it's worth every penny, and it's worth my time.
And yeah, I mean, and I forgot Porter County. You know, the oddest thing, you know, like my cousin Doug Deedlow, a doctor around here, we used to see each other all the time, play golf. You know, he used to deliver all the babies around here and that kind of thing. There's like an iron curtain. It still exists between Porter County and Lake County. When someone like yourself moves to Porter County, moves to Valpo or Ogden or whatever, you never see him again. Is that you?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. You're very active in the region. And I will tell you that a lot of my neighbors are also coming in from Lake County. They're tired of the corruption. The corruption in politics in Lake County is just unbelievable. I have friends that are politicians in Lake County. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the corruption. I'm not saying that corruption doesn't exist in Porter County, but you know, it's probably everywhere. Let's not be naive. But I'm paying less taxes. It's a safer area. I have more house for my money. I'm very close to Lake Michigan, right by the dunes. It's just amazing. But I do miss Lake County right now. I'm on my way to Munster Donuts. Coming back from a 3-month trip in L.A., coming back home, my first stop's going to be Munster Donuts. There's still a lot about Lake County that I like. House of Pizza, all the regular stops. We don't have that out there. The nostalgia does exist here. I hope one day I can make it back to Lake County, but right now I'm happy in Porter County. And I'm just here to say crime exists everywhere. It's been around for over a century in the region. Just got to get used to it. Be vigilant, but please don't just stay out of Chicago for you have a 40-year career in Chicago. Go back, go to a show, take advantage of it. Just be vigilant. That's all I got to say.
All right, man. Thanks for the phone call. 219-845-1100. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Hey, Trump hates Mexicans and Puerto Ricans. That's what your caller said, correct?
Oh, the guy who called before?
Yeah.
What's his name again? Fernando?
Yeah. Trump hates Mexicans and Puerto Ricans.
I don't know if he said Mexicans, but I know he said Puerto Ricans.
No, he said it.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm kind of walking around doing things. But, yeah, if you know, maybe he said it. But, I mean, the gist of it was I think that Fernando said that, you know, the Trump movement is filled with, or Trump himself is filled with hate and racism.
No, he said Puerto Ricans. and Mexicans. And you didn't even check him on it, Jet. So hold on. Better get word out to your staff. Get your wife on the phone real quick. Hold it. Jack Nicholson and a few good men. I've got a better idea. Let's call Marco Rubio.
Why would we call Marco Rubio?
Well, Trump hates him. Let's get the word out before something bad happens to Marco Rubio.
What do you mean Trump hates him?
Your caller just said Trump hates Mexicans and Hispanics. You didn't check him on it. Is that true? Or are you just going to let him spew that filth?
Do you think that I'm going to check you? I mean, don't you
Is what
call
I'm saying
regularly
true or
and I
not?
go, okay, thanks for your opinion? I mean, your
what Fernando said true, Jed?
reasoning is what I would like to know is if he did. I don't know exactly the quote, and I'm not going to use that, but I will say that he used the words hate and racism in reference with Donald Trump and his followers exhibit. So let me ask you, rather than, oh, Jed, you didn't do this or blah, blah, blah. What do you believe that there's an element of the Trump energy that is filled with hate and racism? Now, that's a legitimate question and a legitimate topic. So you have the floor.
So your dyslexia is kicking into a call that happened 10 minutes ago that you don't know what Fernando
you know what? We'll
said.
Go with your memory, and we'll say exactly what he said. So do you believe that there is hatred and racism toward Mexicans and Puerto Ricans?
No.
Okay, explain.
I don't believe he has hatred towards Mexicans and Puerto Ricans. I believe that he's trying to make this country better.
Okay.
Now, you're just going to let Fernando say that, so call your staff, your wife, and Marco Rubio,
you
and tell him to live in fear.
Into that. I want you to tell me, analyze it like this. Okay, here's a Hispanic guy, Fernando sounds Hispanic, calling in and saying that he feels as if Trump and his acolytes have hatred and racism toward Hispanics. Now, that's how he feels. Now, is that real?
Ask him what he based that on?
Is that, would you like to oppose that opinion? And
why didn't you ask him what he based that on? No,
not why me or this or that. I mean, this is,
I'm
just
a guy
paging through my phone and just kind of wanting to screw around. But this is a serious topic because there are many people like Fernando that are Hispanic that feel as if they are being targeted now. Now, there are many Hispanics that don't feel that way. What I'm interested in is how you feel and what you think. If there's Fernando and there's millions of people that feel that they're being targeted now, do you want to tell them that they're wrong? Or what do you want to tell them?
What I'm appalled by is that you've got a Hispanic wife and you didn't even stop him in his tracks.
Stop. You don't get the idea that we actually have some public policy to talk about it. And you short circuit on, me, and I'm full of faults. Let's just go with this. Let's do this. Yes, whatever you're saying, I am probably at fault for it, and that I have many faults, and I agree with all of that. But what I want to know is how you feel toward Hispanics.
Well, Jed, if I'll walk out my front door in a minute, let's go talk to my Hispanic neighbor and the way I treat him and his family.
And how is that?
How do you think it is, Jed?
Well, I'm asking you.
Do you think I've got a cross in my front yard and said KKK and Hispanics too? Give me a break.
Well,
Stand up for something, Jed.
In your mind,
candy ass.
I love this. All right, so in your mind is...
I can't believe you didn't defend your wife.
In your mind, what is the... I won't take the bait, by the way. What is it that is happening? Like, more and more, this country is becoming more and more Hispanic. This town city I'm standing in, half of the students or more are Hispanic. I mean, this is going to be the guy, producing my show is Hispanic. Okay. I mean, the whole country is changing this way, partly because of immigration, partly because of higher birth rates, and it is completely changing. And Fernando says, well, some people don't like that, and they exhibit hate and racism toward Hispanics. Are you saying that he's wrong? There aren't people that have hate and racism toward Hispanics? Or are you just saying you're not someone who has hate and racism toward Hispanics?
Dear Fernando, you said Trump hates Mexicans and Hispanics, and yet Trump put Marco Rubio in one of the biggest positions in the U.S. government. Tell me how that hate is.
Hey, that's a good question, but you haven't
But you didn't
answered,
ask it, Jed. You're the journalist,
hey,
and
listen,
you didn't ask it.
Stop. What I want to know is how you view Hispanics as a population. Obviously, you're not Hispanic, right? But Hispanics are kind of taking over a good portion, especially here in the region. How do you feel about that?
Like I do every other person on the face of the planet. Be a good man and treat people the way you want to be treated. Why I'm asking you is, as the journalist, why didn't you ask the question? Got no answer, Jeff?
Ask a question. What question? I let the guy talk like I'm trying to let you talk, except you want to talk about my family, and I'm even really like Peter Krakowski
Why
says.
didn't
He
you
goes,
ask
no, hold
him
on,
what it was
hold on. You
based
just gotta
on?
let Peter Krakowski over here explain to someone once. He goes, Jed is the most patient man in the region until he's not. Okay, and I agree with that. I love to hear what you have to say. People are driving around going, oh, why are you listening to that guy? Or why are you talking to that guy? And the same thing, I would be like, Fernando was just talking his stuff, and I let him talk. And then people are driving around going, oh, I can't, like you, like, why? I can't believe you let that guy talk like that. That's America. People speak their mind. You're speaking your mind.
Say I'm
but
not
I
going
would
to take a
appreciate
stand
if
on
you didn't
anything.
bring my family into it. But other than that, you could be critical of me that I'm not challenging someone, or that I didn't, root out some untruth or something, and I'm okay with that. But there is an issue here.
Do you see how woke you sound?
Hold on. There is an issue here that you're getting to, and Fernando is that. And the issue is that America is becoming more and more Hispanic. Okay? It just is. And by the way, isn't Marco Rubio Cuban? Yeah, he's Cuban.
I don't know, Jed. Check it. You're the journalist.
No, I know he's Cuban. So you're not even really, I mean, Cubans are kind of like a different area of Hispanic world. So what you're bringing out is like, an anger at me like you always do. But there is an issue here.
Because you're weak.
Okay. All right. We've already established that. Thank you. I appreciate your phone call. I don't know. There are real issues. Look at my Hispanic producers telling me what to do. Are you kidding me? He's telling me I got to take a break. I should stand up to you and tell you, I don't know. But I got to take a break because we have many sponsors who sponsor what we do here, which is let people talk, man. And that's what we've always done for 101 years. And we ain't stopping anytime soon. Be right back on the Voice and Face of the Region.